Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. 'Tis September, and we're going to do our top 5 perfumes for the month of September. There's this beautiful September landscape. Check this out. It's an abstraction of a landscape, okay, but I love the colors. I love this pastel pink blue sky, this kind of late summer vibes going on. I'm obsessed with late summer in general, but this year in particular, I talk about it in a lot of my videos. You're gonna be like bored, like, oh my god, he's talking about late summer again. Anyway, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Thumb up the video, subscribe. Let's get to it. My first perfume for the month of September 2025. Oh man, where do we go? Here, let me start with this one. Look how beautiful Anais, the original Cacharel bottle is with this landscape and background. It is just divine. That little pink, blue, smidge of green, aquamarine, and white. Oh man, isn't it gorgeous? So this is a white floral accord. If you check out my review of this fragrance, you will notice that there's a little bit of discussion going on whether or not it's from the 60s or 70s, technically from the 70s, but let's just say it's from the 70s for the sake of argument. And it is it's a white floral, beautiful, borderline ambrosial smell, not even close ambrosial as Quelques Fleurs by Houbigant, but it has that vibe of ambrosia in it. And it has a reminiscence of a chypre touch to it. It is so soothing, relaxing, and it falls in the category of cheapies. You can find it. This is a 50 ml bottle. They do also 30 and 100 ml. You can find even a 100 ml bottle for under $30, like even $20. I have a 50 ml bottle here that I paid $30 for. I wanted the 50 ml bottle just for the proportions. I could have gotten the 100 ml, but I really like the shape of the 50 ml. Anyway, I'm probably going to get the 100 ml sooner than later as well. It is so Cacharel. It is so beautiful. It's one of those trifectas that I call the Cacharel trifecta of the colored glass bottles being Anais, Lulu, and Eden. Lulu being blue glass, Eden being marbled green glass, and then we have the white glass. Them three together, they're just amazing in their own right in very different ways. So if we were to say this one came out in the 70s, Lulu in the 80s, Eden in the 90s, we have 3 decades of Cacharel masterfulness, really. But for September, let's focus on Anais. It is the smell of late summer, early autumn. What can I tell you? This is so beautiful. It's also great in spring, but it hits the right spot. There's a certain, just like there's I want to say a smidge of not bitterness in there. It's like a smidge of green sharpness in here, which is very September to me. While at the same time, it's giving me early September vibes, still summer, in its white floral accord. There's like a honeysuckle vibe going on in here as well. And a beautiful jasmine. I think they did a great job with the reformulation of Anais L'Original. This is great in the late afternoon, early evening, and you know what? Even for going out on a date, like dinner date, or to the movies even. This is a really, really beautiful one. And I mean, depending on who you have in the office, if you are an office worker, you might be able to pull this one off at the office as well. Although it does tend to turn on some skins, not just like powdery dry, but also slightly sweet. And some people don't like that. It annoys some people. It can be a little bit nauseating. This is one that I spray behind the knee, just like Eden. I don't do this around the neck. Actually, let me spray a little bit right now. Huh. Oh, yeah, no. Man, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Love it to bits. And it has really longevity. It stays on clothes for days. And on the skin, I get around 7 to 8 hours. Really good. So if I do find a shopping link to this one, I'll post it here somewhere. I don't know where YouTube does it usually. Thumb up the video, subscribe. Let's move on to number 2. My number 2 is usually a fragrance that I go for in later months of the year, like late autumn, sometimes even before the holiday season kicks in. Although holiday season is usually Chanel number 5 Extrait, because that kind of smells of snow. But this year I'm feeling in September a beautiful sandalwood by Chanel. And that would be not Bois d'Azil, a little bit more affordable and a little bit more obtainable. That would be Egoist. The not Platinum or Platinum, it is just Egoist. The 1991 creation. This is the current formulation of Egoist Eau de Toilette. They only make 100 ml bottles of this one. Sizes of this one. This is batch code 1303. So check out my updated review of Egoist by Chanel. Every couple of years I repurchase them just to kind of keep my olfactive training up to date with whatever Chanel is delivering with their fragrances. And Egoist in its current formulation, I can tell you, is beautiful. If you are a lover of Bois Noir, which is the Egoist before Egoist, it was just kind of segregated just to Chanel boutiques as a trial run, test run, late 80s, early 90s. If you love that intensity, this might be too weak for you. Also, if you love the first formulations, first editions in the early 90s of Egoist, that was also a more intense fragrance. This is a lighter version of Egoist that we have today. It is, my face is completely abstract and very Picasso and Dali-esque behind the bottle. Whoa. So it is also an abstraction of a perfume in a way. I love it because it has, the softness and the sweetness of the sandalwood, but it also has a peppery accord in there in the opening. And the current formulation is a little bit less smoky. The formulation that I had prior to this one, which was, I think, batch code was at 8 or 7. That one had a little bit of smokiness in it. This one is more on the sweeter side, more cinnamony, it's more spicy. It's more, that's why it's usually one that I would wear during the holiday season, like Thanksgiving or, Christmas or something, because it does give you a vibe of sitting in front of a fireplace and getting ready to eat some really nicely with love made sweets, cookies, the so-called what are they called? Speculatius or speculatius cookies. They're kind of like a dark brown color, quite thin, dry, crispy, like you bite on them, and they have a lot of cinnamon on them. And clove. This is kind of a clovey smell as well. So it has a reminiscence of Coco Chanel, like Coco, more so the Eau de Toilette. But then it's its own thing. There's a dryness to it, which makes it almost smell like a very sophisticated from another planet barbershop fragrance. And it's just super clean, polite. I'm going to spritz a little bit of that as well. Today I'm putting them all on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it hits the spot. It really hits the spot. It's like you've eaten a sophisticated meal. Oh man, and it just fulfills you. It gives you a sensation of, oh, this year has been good. We're going towards now the last third of the year. 10, 11. Yeah, there's 3 months to go, and this one kind of smells of like I've accomplished something. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling perfume. And I know a lot of guys don't go for this one. They usually gravitate for the Fougère version of this, which is Platinum. A lot of lavender in that one. This is very different. And this is in a league of its own. And it also, this current formulation has a paper vibe. That thing that I like about Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette, it has a smidge of a paper accord. Some of the formulations of Gabrielle also Gabrielle Lo with the berry accord. That one also has a smidge of paper smell in it, which I love. So does this one. Oh, it's so good. I think it's an aldehydic compound that gives it white linen dry accord, like paper dry. It's so beautiful. And it is slightly like suede leathery, just a smidge, just a very, very tiny smidge. This is not cuir de Russie. This is just the right amount. So beautiful in September. It kind of feels like shorter days. Uh, the beautiful warm color in the sky as the days turn more ambery gold as autumn approaches. Love it to bits. Another one that I adore this month, and you won't be able to see it because of the green screen, but it is a green bottle and it does have a flower on top. So let's just check out the flower. Oh man, so this is Elizabeth Taylor's Gardenia. And Elizabeth Taylor's Gardenia is another cheapie. And look at that beautiful lid, that frosted gardenia in 3 dimensions. So, so, so beautiful. This is the lid for this beautiful bouquet of pure gardenia. And actually, maybe I can cut out a green screen window here. Bam. There you go. Ah, the magic of YouTube. So there you can see the bottle in its full glory. We've cut out into the sky, into that beautiful, majestic, lilac-y, purpley, pinky sky, a, a bit of green. And now you get to see the bottle of gardenia. Now, this is, by the way, there's no logos on this one, so check out my review of this one as well. There's no name. There's only a sticker at the bottom that indicates the size, 100 milliliter. I think this is an eau de parfum. Yes, it is. And oh my God, what a beauty. So, okay, we can take down like that. Ooh. Oh, this is maybe screenshot worthy. There you go. So let me sniff it now. Oh my gosh. So Elizabeth Taylor, it is said that she loved flowers and in her Bel Air garden at home and all sort of scented, fragrant, summery flowers, including jasmine. But gardenia was one of her favorites, and she wanted a perfume from her collection to be almost like a soliflor. Obviously, as you guys know, or you might know, nobody has managed to really synthesize the smell of gardenia. It just kind of doesn't work for some reason. I'm not a chemist, so I can't really explain to you why. I just know that they cannot do it. So they find ways to mimic gardenia through other accords in combination together. They kind of create the illusion, a magic trick. They make you feel gardenia. Now this is very close to what a true gardenia smells like, which is what she wanted, because she wanted to carry her garden with her when she traveled. So they say. But it's so beautiful. There's a bit of peony in there, a bit of rose, a bit of coconut vibe. So it is kind of summery, but it also has that bitter green, almost like a toxic indole, which is so typical to gardenias, which makes some people go nuts because they do not like it. I love that accord in a gardenia, so the more the better for me. But some people don't like it. So this is not a blind purchase. I would not recommend because you might not like how a gardenia actually smells because this comes really close to that opulence. It could be even more intense in my opinion. But it does have a nostalgia to it. It has that beautiful coconutty, which is typical to most gardenia fragrances have that coconut accord in them. And then it goes into that peony, rose, jasmine-y vibe, just a smidge, and it blooms like a gardenia would bloom, and it has that green, lactonic, indolic vibe about it. I'm obsessed with this one. I bought 2 bottles, you guys, and I rarely do that. I mean, this is a cheapie, by the way. Like we're talking between $17 and $20 a bottle. But it's, look, in my opinion, so much better than any niche $600 crap out there. You can make a little earring out of this. Is so cool. Love it. Very 80s. So yeah, I was very surprised because this does not smell like your typical Elizabeth Taylor fragrance, like White Diamonds or Passion. Those are heavy hitters on the musk and on the civets. This one is not none of that. It is ethereal. It is a white floral accord. It is so refreshing, but has heft to it, which is very September to me because it's grounded. There's an earthiness to this green. It's an earthy. It's a green of this world rather than an otherworldly green, and I love it for that. For that, I think it's just there's so much realism in this, even though it's now transparent with this background. It looks like nothing but real. But here we can just see the flower, just the tip. There's so much realism in this perfume, and let's spray it on as well. I mean, why not? We're spraying them all. Oh my God, it is. Yeah, masterpiece for a cheapie, especially. Are you kidding me? And it just, you got to give it a minute. It starts off a little bit of taxi, but then like after 20 minutes, it dies down into this beautiful lotiony indolic gardenia. Oh my God, delicious. Very soothing, very relaxing. Also, very much sitting in the garden as the sun is setting. September. It's still warm enough to sit outside. Hear the animals, insects, birds chirping, whatever it is you got in your garden going on for you, and just chill and watch the sun go down. Oh, it smells like a garden of gardenias. Beautiful. Now, another beauty, uh, not gardenia this time, not sandalwood. And also, by the way, anise anise is also a gardenia kind of type of vibe going on there. But now we're going to go into the jasmines. And this is a beautiful, I mean, and this is the first time that I'm actually wearing this one in September because like I got it last year for Christmas. So I haven't had the chance to wear it yet in this climate, like this month of the year in this season. And oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's a specific type of jasmine, and it is the Shalimar Millésime Jasmin, the Jasmine Millésime flanker of Shalimar by Guerlain, and it was released as part of their yearly holiday special limited edition. They do one. They started this a couple of years ago. They release one every year. 2 years ago was Iris. Millésime last year was Jasmine. This year, I don't know, they're probably going to do Rose or who knows what. I've heard rumors that they're going to do Rose, but we never know until they don't announce it officially. This is a powdery jasmine. It is a very, the color of it also, I mean, there's vanilla in there as well, but this tincture that they do at Guerlain, I mean, this is not turning this dark because it's like almost a year old now. It's been this dark from the moment I got it. It has this beautiful golden September rays of light as summer wanes down and autumn begins. These are those beautiful, you see how it refracts the light and you get that gold and amber accord? That's September. And the smell, this is not your summer jasmine. This is a very specific type of indole that they went for. There's actually a few different jasmines in this perfume, but oh my God. And one of the particular jasmines that they used has a sweetness to it that is reminiscent of vanilla. There is vanilla in here as well, but there's also a jasmine that smells sweeter than your typical jasmine. Should we mix it with a gardenia or with Egoist? I did it in between two of them. Oh my God. Yeah, no. History in a bottle. Seriously. It's the best of Shalimar, but then it's also the best of modern technology and techniques of extraction, from these flowers. I should get a backup bottle of this, unless it's not already sold out. A friend of mine already bought 4 or 5 bottles last year. Oh man, it also has a makeup accord, like very late 70s, early 80s, hardcore heavy makeup, going to the club disco. It's a memory, right? It's a vision. And yeah, very September. And this is the first September in my lifetime that I'm wearing millésime jasmine or jasmin. Um, it I don't know. Shout out to you, Vel, my friend Vel, who loves this perfume so much. I think she got 4 or 5 bottles. Vel, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you got 6 by now, girl. I know how much you love this perfume. I have the one bottle, and look, we end up having so many perfumes, and it's just you fall in love with something, and then you kind of keep buying more and more. But truth be told, we don't end up using all of them, so I am trying to be much more conscious when I'm buying fragrances to not over purchase. It's really hard for a perfume lover, but I have beautiful perfumes in my collection, so I'm like trying to re-experience them over and over again rather than constantly consume new ones, buy new. And I know it's tempting to just keep purchasing new bottles, and some new releases are amazing, but also like cost $600, $500. And and then I'm not a perfume snob, so sometimes in all of these releases and all of these things that come out, we tend to forget the beautiful things that are already out there that don't need to cost $600, like Anais or Gardenia or Giorgio Beverly Hills or Obsession by Calvin Klein or Lulu by Cacharel or Eden. I mean, there are some wonderful historic perfumes out there that do not break the bank but deliver highly sophisticated poetry and quality still to this day. Now, this is one of the costlier ones because it's a Guerlain, and but since it was a holiday gift from family, I you know at least I saved a dime there. But as you can see, I've used quite a bit, all things considered. Considering all the times that I spray perfumes every day, I could have used this up fully already, but I didn't. I'm also savoring it. It has an intensity to it. You're floating on clouds with this one, and there's a powderiness to it and a softness to it and an 80s makeup accord in here. Love it to bits. Very beautiful, very romantic, very much traveling through September, feeling some type of way. I also like to wear this one if and when I am going through vintage Vogue magazine editions from the 80s and the 70s. As I'm going through all of their cigarette ads. You know how Vogue used to be back in the day. But the fashion and the makeup, oh my gosh. So I kind of would just kind of spritz this on right after I wash my hair. So I put it up in a towel because my hair is like super long, and I just kind of like towel dry it. So it's up in a towel, and I wear like my white, either a shirt or um, um, a bathrobe, and I'm just eating chocolates, wearing Shalimar, Millésime, Jasmin, and I'm just kind of like going through the pages of a vintage Vogue. Chef's kiss. This is the best of escapism you could possibly get. And God knows we need some right about now, because this year has been a doozy. So that is my number 4. Thumb up the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for thumbing up and subscribing. Let me know your top 5 down below, and I am going to get to my 5th one, which is the darkest of this quintet. And that would be, so we've had our floral accords, we've had the white florals, now we're going into darkness, and we're going into autumn. We are stepping into Halloween season, and we're stepping into licorice vibes, fennel, tea, burnt woods, spices, immortelle, and vanilla. Shadows, baroque shadows, pardon me. Baroque shadows delivered through Eau Noire by Dior from their Collection Privée range. The nose behind this one is Francis Courjean. I do have the Cologne, the first edition of this one from 2002/2003, in that gorgeous poison green liquid. And then I have its a reformulation to Eau de Parfum under Demachi, also green liquid. And then the latest iteration, which is well, under the guidance of Francis Courjean, they reformulated it. According to Francis, it's the same perfume, just different. They took away all whatever he deemed to be toxic colorants. Mm, it doesn't smell the same at all. It is a different perfume. I mean, it's not a different perfume, but it's not Eau Noire Eau de Cologne from 2003. It's different. Okay. But I love it. I still love it. This shit still got it. Oh, my goodness, is this a beauty? And they keep saying they're going to discontinue it again, and I keep being afraid. I do have backups. It's not like, but mm, I love my pine forest, dark, foreboding, licorice, vanilla, burnt woods mansion that's been burnt down, a Baroque mansion burnt down in the middle of the woods. What a masterpiece. I love it. Even in its, kind of shadow of itself reformulation. Gotta respect Eau Noire. Really, you gots to. You gots to. It had more of a McGriddle maple syrup type of vibe back in the days, in the early 2000s, when it was still an Eau de Cologne. Now it lost that. It is not that caramelized sweet. This is a more woodsy, dry green accord now than it lost a little bit of that gourmandesque vibe that it had. It was never gourmand, but it did have that crystallized, caramelized thing going for it. Now it's more dusty and dry. It's withered. It's aged. That mansion that I remember being Eau Noire, Eau de Cologne is more dilapidated. I mean, it's been over 20 years after all. So it almost feels like this is a perfume 20 years later. Not a bottle that's 20 years old, but a perfume that has been reimagined 20 years later, which is what this is, because the re-edition of it in this colorway is almost, if not exactly, 20 years after its first release. Beautiful burnt smokiness to it. It's calling for autumn. This is the beginning of autumn as we're entering these woods, these dark woods, and we're going to go on a journey. It's going to be dangerous, but also very rewarding once we make it through on the other side. And it has a reminiscence of Twin Peaks in it as well. That mystery in the dark woods surrounded by the sycamore trees and the entrance to the Black Lodge or to the White Lodge at this point. If you've seen also season 3, there's also the White Lodge. But anyway, those are my top 5 perfumes for the month of September 2025. Hope you had fun watching. Let me know your favorites down below. And if I find any shopping links to any of these, I shall be posting them under this video. Subscribe, thumb up the video, and never give up on fragrant love. Bye.